Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Salami Talk podcast. It is your boy John, aka Salami Loop, and I'm here with Yo Joe. Do a flip.
Yep, Joe Flip here. How's it going, guys?
Are you gonna do a backflip for us?
I cannot do a flip. I don't skate. I don't do any of that. So the name is non-indicative of the name.
Dude, you like announced that the first thing.
Well, it's because people just shit on me for it. Like immediately immediately when I get on stage, I'm like, "Yo, Joe Flip," and that's actually where my Instagram handle came from. Yo, Joe, do a flip is like kind of like my tagline, even though people know that like I can't do like a flip. Like I'm a 6'4" white guy with like really long legs. Like I'm not doing a flip.
Do you ball?
Huh?
Do you hoop?
I hoop, but I'm a shooter exclusively. I can dunk. Well, let me rephrase that. I can dunk, but I've never dunked in a game. But like I can hit like a nice one-hand rim grazer off one.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice, bro. Fuck
For
yeah.
sure. The name actually came from like so the producing software that I use, the DAW, it's called a designated audio workspace. Like the DAW that I use is called Fruity Loops Studios. And when you save the file, it's called a Fruity Loops project. So the file is called a .flp file.
Okay.
So when I was first getting into music, I made my name Joe, just J-O period. And like I was like, man, that's going to be it. I'm just going to go by Joe and it's going to work. And then I put that in my Instagram handle, and it was JO period FLP, like the Fruity Loops project. And literally all of my friends, not a lot of them, were like, "What is Joe Flip? Like, what is Joe Flip?" So they started calling me Joe Flip. So then I changed my name on Spotify to JO period FLP. And then I was like, man, that just doesn't look right. So probably like a month or two ago, I changed it to officially just Joe period Flip.
When people think that you actually do a flip, but you named yourself after an audio file.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. but like I thought it was gonna be like one of those like corny like producers like behind the scenes like no, it's like, oh, my Instagram handle is gonna be like one of these like, oh, hidden gems, like, oh my god, like I'm so like I'm so trendy right now, dude.
Like there's so much in depth about your name. Like it has like a meaning. Like literally, like there's artists out there that just like they'll go on a tangent on a podcast and they'll talk about how their name has like this meaning. And I mean, I guess it's cool. And then there's some people that are just like, dude, I just fucking like I got this name for this podcast. I just put it in a podcast name generator
and just put out like the most random shit. Like
I saw that and I'm like, oh, that sounds catchy. And I just did that, bro.
It's definitely a unique one for sure. I definitely haven't heard anything quite like it.
Well, it's because I'm Italian, so like
me too, man.
Fuck yeah.
When I saw your last name, I was like, no, mine's Percoco, so I'm right up.
Percoco?
Yeah, right up in the same alley. Conti and Percoco.
Fettuccine, Alfredo, Lamborghini.
Dude, one of the bartenders that I work with, her last name is Magliacetti. Like literally just like could not get more Italian. Like I have some friends whose last name are just Michetti, which is like, okay, like whatever.
Like machete.
But Magliacetti is just like so much more eloquent and like it has to be Italian.
You ever notice that like Italian people, when they say their last name, it's like some extraordinary long fucking word, and it always ends in like E.
Yeah, it's either an E or an O. Like an I or an O is a grade A example. Like if your name ends in an I or an O, I'm hammering the over in Vegas that you're Italian. And then I take a glance at the nose too. The nose is always a telltale sign for me, dude. I got one of those big Italian Roman bridge in the nose type of deal, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like...
And then you put 2 piercings in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually 1 piercing, which is so funny because like people are like, yo, you got 2 piercings. I was like, I'm not about to pay for a second one, so I just got one that like doubles up.
Nice.
So it's a little bit thicker.
Oh man.
All the old heads at my par get so pissed. Well, they don't get like pissed off, but they're like, Naples and like Fort Myers is like an older area.
Yeah, it's God's
so
waiting room.
Right, yeah, exactly. So it's got precisely. So they come into the bar and they're like, why would you put that in your nose? And they're like, why? Like, why is that something that's like, is it like trending now? And it's like, and I always hit them with the response. I use the exact same stock response every time. I'm like, it's because my nose is so big, it just takes up real estate. And they're like, oh,
that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. And then they don't think about it like that. So,
do they say that like you're woke?
Yeah, oh my god, I'm so woke, dude. It's ungodly how woke I am. Like, oh my god, nose piercing in. Like, a guy with a nose piercing, jewelry on his face. Oh my god.
Woke.
Are you serious? So fucking woke, dude.
So wait. You work at a bar, you bartend. So like, are you at like a restaurant or are you like in an
Yeah, so
home?
I bartend at Duffy's Sports Grill. So it's like,
okay.
It's a sports bar, but it's like, it's 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day, which is like, I understand.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, crazy. And they're like not even expensive drinks. Like for like 2 like let's just say like 2 Mick Ultras. I mean, actually, let's go even cheaper than Mick. Like 2 Miller Lights, like on draft, is $7. And like, yes, you pay up front. You pay up front for both of them. So you pay $7 for 1 beer, but you also pay $7 for 2 beers. So if you're gonna get 2 beers, then you're paying like $3.50 a beer, like, which is just not bad, like in the slightest at all for like
Not
a
really,
restaurant
no.
like chain, you know what I mean? So it's cool because it, like, yeah, everybody's like happy and they get drunk and like they tip you, but at the same time it can be so frustrating because like frozen drinks or like all those like niche drinks that like have like complicated steps to like make them,
Yeah.
you have to do it twice. Like people are gonna get their second drink because they're paying for it, so you're gonna have to make it twice. So sometimes you'll get like a table of 8 with like all different kinds of like liquor in their drinks, like all specialty drinks, like, you know, they're probably 20 using a fake ID, but like whatever, like, and then so the people who are sending you these drinks back behind the bar, they're serving out on the floor, and it's called the service bar, so you're making the drinks for the whole restaurant. So at this point you're looking at the ticket and you're like, oh, I want to kill myself, because not only do you know you're going to have to make the drinks right now, but you know you're going to have to make them a second time. And that's just the brutal awakening of the 2-for-1 special.
Yeah, bro. I used to bartend too, so I get that, bro.
What's your best drink that you make?
Dude, my it's so pathetic. My best drink was, because I didn't
Vodka
work
soda.
I didn't work basically, bro, because I would work in an elderly home and I was the bartender there.
Oh, okay.
So there's some people that would come in and they'd ask for like some crazy fucking drink. And
Yeah, like a Negroni or like just some like really old, like a rusty nail or like
something weird,
some old
shit,
head
bro.
shit. Yeah.
And I'd just be like, oh yeah, I can make that. And then I'd be like, what's in it? And they're like, oh, whiskey or like vodka. Like they just say something like that. Like they'd be like, oh, use all whatever. And I would just load it with that and then put like a little bit of sweetener. I wouldn't even make the drink right. I would just load it with alcohol and they're like, keep them coming.
Keep them coming, dude.
Yeah.
I've been fucking beating my wife for 30 years to this drink, dude.
Bro, it was so... I've had so many fond memories in that bar because, like, dude, I wouldn't give up. When I was bartending, I wouldn't give a fuck.
No.
Like literally, like, it was like my bar. I ran it how I wanted. It was just, I was the only bartender. So, like, I didn't care. And, like, no one bothered me. It's just, like, at that time, the pay it sucked.
Yeah.
Because I was, like, in high school. I was in high school serving
Were they paying
drinks.
you hourly or, like, were you getting tips?
I was getting
still?
tips and hourly, but, like...
It wasn't good tips
It
an hourly.
Yeah, like, if I'm being honest. Like, you'd probably get more, like, working at Costco.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, dude, it's crazy. Literally on my way over here, I was looking at, and I'm like looking at like I said when I was walking in the door, like it's very like plush and straight down here, and it kind of just feels like everything is just like, it's like a mini heaven like down here, like just driving into it. I know you live down here, so you probably have a different opinion on it, but like just like the scenery, like driving down, it feels like you're driving into the richest part of America. And like I'm looking at the Chick-fil-A, and it's like $15 an hour at Chick-fil-A, and I'm like, $15 an hour at Chick-fil-A is absurd,
that
because
is absurd.
like I probably average, serving, in bartending I probably average like 30 an hour, but like my first job that I started out as was bagging groceries for like $6.98 an hour. Like criminally underpaid.
Yeah, bro, like I started serving for like $10 an hour, bro.
Yeah.
It was not the wave. You took the highway here then, right? That's what you took? You took the
Yeah,
scenic route?
yeah, I took the highway down through 111, and then after I got off of exit 111,
You just went all the way to the woods.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, just to the breakneck.
It's nicer in the woods than it is over there, bro. Like, I get it. Like, people go through there and they're like, oh, it's the nice part. And then, like, you haven't even been down, like, by, like, Fifth Ave. Like,
I've been down Fifth Ave a couple times.
That's, like, the rich part,
Fifth
bro.
Ave is crazy. I had a friend who used to be an anesthetist, like, or, no, not an
What the fuck is that?
Not an anesthetist, but esthetician. An esthetician is, like, the
nails?
people... Yeah, well, yeah, nails, like, salon. She, like, worked at a salon on Fifth Ave, and she was making 6 figures at 19 years old, dude. Like...
She started her business right, bro. She
did,
has
bro.
a plan.
She did. I mean, she's literally like the definition of like white like empowerment of like just
Oh my God.
just like grew up in like the wealthiest household of all time. Like parents are definitely like generational
the
money.
definition
like,
of white privilege.
Yeah, white privilege. Yeah, not white empowerment. My bad.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. But yeah, so like she pretty much had it going for her like before she even like was born. Like you just generational wealth type of deal.
Yeah, we had a good run, white people. We had a good run.
We had a great run actually.
We're on No Jumpers page. Bro, you know what I saw before we even jump into No Jumpers page?
What's
there
up?
was a thing I saw on it.
LeBron James and Steph Curry, wonderful.
Dude, there's this kid that he had like a lot going for him. He was in like football and he did all this shit. I'm trying to find the article on it, bro. He was like, oh, here it is. He's like
Oh, bro, yeah, I saw this on Twitter, and I was like, "What the fuck? What was the challenge that he did?" I didn't dive deeper.
This TikTok, this kid, what the hell is this kid's name? His name is Dangerous TikTok Challenge leaves star football player 16 disfigured and unrecognizable, horrific burns. I think he did the challenge where like he like covered himself in something. They said he used a blowtorch and spray paint
Wow.
for a TikTok challenge, and like dude, he used to play football. He was like apparently really good at it, and now he looks like that.
Dude, fuck, bro. Like that is just so unfortunate. Like I remember reading in the comment section it was like natural. I mean, Twitter's just a different breed of like place. I mean, the internet in general, but it was just like natural selection at its finest.
Jesus
like,
Christ.
Yeah, just like ruthless, like natural selection. And then there's always like the SJWs, like the social justice warriors, like in there, like this kid needs to be parented better. It all starts at the top with the parents even letting their kids, bro. Like kids are just gonna do dumb shit. Like this is just like this is a prime example of like, you know, kids like doing dumb shit and it not like working out well. And obviously like there's more like kids disposal nowadays. Like I'm just thinking back to like how you ever watch Stranger Things?
Yeah.
So like I'm thinking back to how me and my mom would watch that together, and she would be like, this is how it was in the 80s. Like you would literally leave at like 10 or 11 a.m. and you'd just have to be home before dinner, and until then your parents just didn't care where you were. Like, it was just like, you just go and roam free. But now, there's just so much shit that's harmful that it's like, if you let your kids roam free, it's like, this is the result. Like, this is what's going to happen. So.
You're what, 23, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm 22. I'll be 23 in July, but I'm closer to 23.
Oh, dude, no way. Oh, bro, I'm older than you by 1 month, bro.
What are you, June, baby?
Yup.
When's your birthday? June what?
6th. I was born on D-Day. Nice.
On D-Day?
Yeah, the day everybody died in Normandy, I was born. So, shout out France.
Hey, hey, bro, shout out France for real, though. I took French class in high school and didn't retain a lick. Took 2 classes of Spanish in college and now speak, like, not fluent at all. But, like, I can at least communicate with the chefs in my kitchen, so I can get
that's fire.
I can get free shit in the kitchen, you know how
Nice.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Nice. Yeah, bro, it was, like, in my kitchen at that place, they would all speak Creole.
Ah.
And I only knew how to say, like, what's up in Creole. And they'd be like,
passe.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all I would
One of
say.
my buddies was Haitian, and he taught me a little bit of Creole. He was like, but they were like from the hood. So he'd be like, yeah, man, when we're doing like some demonic shit out there, you know, just out there on the street being idiots. He's like, it's like, we're being vagabonds. He's like, that's how you just say like, you're on demon time. I'm like, oh, like vagabonds. So like, or like he taught me how to say with cheese. Because the guy who used to make the burgers in college, he was Creole, and he was cool people. We called him Goggles because he would wear these huge cooking goggles, and he was like he always fucked with my buddy because again he was Creole, but he like taught me how to say it. So when I went by myself, he always knew. It's like, so in French it's avec fromage, which means with cheese, but in Creole it's avec fromage. Like it's like. My buddy explained it to me as it's like French if a third grader wrote it or like a 3-year-old wrote it. That's how he said it. He's like it's just.
I've never heard someone say that.
He's like it's just like a very slang version of French.
Okay.
I was like, wow. So that's your literature lesson.
That's my literature lesson of the day. Shout out Joe Do a Flip, bro, teaching me fucking Creole.
Yep.
So back to this TikTok challenge.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because like. Well, it's not funny. This kid literally almost burned to death.
80% of his body
got burned to death. It's not funny, but
hopefully
he's unrecognizable. You know, have you ever done any dumb shit as like a 16-year-old kid, dude? I'm pretty sure we all have at one point.
For sure. Probably my
like, what's the dumbest thing you can remember doing as a kid?
Probably mine was one that really honestly, my buddy Lucas Burton was the biggest dumbass.
Shout out Lucas.
Shout out Lucas Burton. But he was always the one doing the crazy shit. Like I was always like there for it, but he was always the one that was like, all right, let me jump in there. Like, you know, everybody has that one friend that's like gonna be the
idiot,
the outstander, but the
outlier.
Still, the outlier. Like he's that X factor that like every friend group needs. Like just bring something else to the table that nobody else can bring. So like for me personally, it was like putting like hand sanitizer like on my hand and like lighting it on fire and just like seeing how long it would light before like it started burning my hand, which is like mid, like
okay,
like a pretty mid. Like I was never like the type to like be like super adventurous like that when it comes to stuff. I was just really safe. I was like a hypochondriac as a kid, so like I would always like stress about like what was like happening inside my body. Like I'd have like a common cold and be like, "Yep, I have pneumonia. Like I'm probably gonna die." Like the next, yeah, exactly. I was that type of kid, not anymore, but like, so not my stupidest thing, but one of the funniest things that I've personally seen done was again Lucas. He made a hot tub out of a wheelbarrow, and obviously the wheelbarrow is made out of metal, so it's not only boiling the water, but the wheelbarrow itself is extremely hot. So he gets in his wheelbarrow and comes out with like his legs like just charred up, and he's like, "Holy shit!"
Oh,
that was hilarious. And he also did the hand sanitizer thing, but he put it in his belly button and lit it on fire, and it lit his entire chest hair stream on fire. That was also a very funny. It smelled terrible, but like it was.
I bet one of those funny moments. Lit all the lint on fire.
Literally, it's disgusting. Free clean though.
That free clean.
Free clean though.
I think that I've done a lot of stupid shit, like just with my friends.
I was gonna say, yeah, plug me in with what you got.
Because like I was like the dad of the group, so like I'd always be like, guys, we shouldn't do. It was funny because like I'm the dad, and I'd be like, we shouldn't do this. Like this is not okay. And then I'd be like the instigator, and I'd be like, yo, dude, like, you won't do that, you fucking pussy.
You won't do a flip, dude.
Yeah, like shit like that. And then my friends would do it. So I remember one time, this was on the 4th of July, I had my friends from Georgia come down, and we're like, yo, we're going to set off these fireworks. All right? So we bought a shit ton of fireworks at like Phantom Fireworks.
Splendid idea, already.
Yeah. So, we lit up a couple, and we did it the right way and everything. But then, we had like so much, like we had a lot, like a mountain,
just like an absurd amount of fireworks.
Yeah, and it was at the end of my road. We had them, and I remember I left because my friends, I walked home because it was at the end of my road because they were like, "Yo, we're gonna shoot this Roman candle at the transformer at the other side of the canal," and I'm like, "Oh, that's a great idea. I'm gonna leave.
I'm gonna not be here."
I was like, "I'm fucking going to bed." So like I'm walking away, and I'm laying in my room, and at the time I wasn't in this room. I was in my brother's room. And I'm just laying there. I'm on my phone, and I hear like the loudest explosion like ever, bro.
And
I was like,
loud.
"What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Dude, tell me that's not them." And then like 10 minutes later, they come into my room, and they're like, "Dude, bro, we like blew up the transformer." And I was like, "Oh." He goes, "Yeah, bro." And not only that, but my friend, I'm not gonna say any of their names, but like my friend, they had to get rid of all the fireworks because like they couldn't just keep them all.
Right, yeah.
So they made a big pile at the end of the road, and then they lit one and ran away. But the way they lit it was my friend had a lighter, and he took a can of Axe and sprayed it. Like,
oh wow!
And he tried to be like a flamethrower. And what happened was when he sprayed it, the fuse like it lit and it shot back, so it went into the can. And the can exploded. And my friend was telling me, he's like, "Dude, like, fucking so-and-so went out there and like, dude, it exploded. And like, I don't know if he's okay." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he comes in my room, and like the can had like this blue like design on it. It was all over like the side of his body and like over his face.
Oh my God.
And he comes in my room, and he's like, "John, I can't hear out my left ear." And I'm just like, "Oh, I think you're fine, man." He's like, "It's ringing really loud." And then like a couple minutes later, I think like one cop came down our road, and we were just hiding in the house. Like, oh man, like scared out of our mind. And then we just went to bed. But that was pretty scary, dude.
Dude, no, fireworks are so, like, they're like the most fun thing as a kid, but they're also just like extremely, like I had one with my friends, like he had like a nice like long plush head of hair. And like when I was in 4th grade, I went to a birthday party, burned, like singed like the entire middle of the part of his head off with a Roman candle. Like very lucky it didn't hit him in the face kind of deal. You know what I mean? Just like, wow, like really puts you into perspective. Like now that you're older, like holy shit, that kid could be like missing an eye or like.
Do you almost explode your room when you cook up fire beats in your room?
I don't ever cook up beats in my room, but when I find them, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have like do you record? Where do you record?
So I do record in my room. So pretty much how my creative process works for my music
Indulge
is,
us.
Yeah, I'm giving you top tips and tricks. Follow me, Spotify, Instagram, all
Top
that.
10 tips and tricks for upcoming producers.
Yep, and then like fucking insert one of those like early 2011 like YouTube like one of those dubstep intros. It's like really shitty like unboxing tech and more like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, so pretty much like I said, I use FL Studio, Fruity Loop Studio. That's like what I record on. But I actually have a preset for like all of my vocals that I do. So like all the vocal effects that I do, I have like a preset for them. And when I record my music, I don't have like the exact hardware for it right now, which is why I take it to like a normal studio, like a full blown studio when I do it. But so I just set this preset up. So when I record my music, I just send it to this track that's preset, and it shifts all my vocals to a preset like vocal track. So like all the auto tune, all the reverb,
it's like you just
all
save
like
it
the
in a-
distortion
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's super easy. So that gives me an idea of what my music is going to sound like and like what I need to work on and what I need to plug in. So while I'm doing that, I can do that for free at my house. And then when I'm done with songs, then that's when I usually finish 4, 5, 6 songs. I mean, I've only gone to the studio like 3 times, but like each time I've done 4 songs or more. So I try and take a bunch of songs there. So by the time that I get there, when I'm spending money to pay for actual studio time, I can just jump in, know exactly what I need to hit, and just get in there, get my work done, fuck around with the producer a little bit, see what he thinks would sound good. I got a really good producer up in Tampa at Grand Bay Studio. His name's Joe Remo, and he's just like lights out, dude. Like he's fucking killer. Like he gives me like a second ear that like I don't even know that like I need to hear, and he just like cuts the track up, cuts the vocals up like in ways that I'm just like, wow, like
Hey
I
man.
wouldn't have thought of that. You know what I mean? So I kind of do it myself first, and then I pay the professionals to make it sound nice.
Yeah, like to clean it up, bro. I
Oh,
get
for
you.
sure. Because I want to like ideally with my music, like I know like I'm not technically like I like yes I am a professional because I present myself as a professional, but an added layer to that would be the professionalism of the actual track sounding professional.
Yeah.
So that helps with like if I want to get on, if I want to submit my song to a playlist, if I want to show it to a different producer, you know, I don't want to be showing them stuff that's like underproduced or like mid. I just don't want it to sound mid. If like even if I'm mid as an artist, which I'm not, but even if I am mid as an artist, I at least want the beat and the track, like everything about the track itself to not be mid. I would like that to be top tier. So like when
Yeah.
people listen to it, they're like, "Oh shit, this guy's really about his shit."
Would you consider yourself a perfectionist?
For sure.
Because you sound like one.
A perfection in some aspects of life, yeah. Like when it comes to my music, for sure. Because even I'll listen to my music and I'm like, man, this is just not hitting like the way I want it to. But then I'll show it to my friends and they'll be like, oh, this shit's like fire. And I do think that kind of separates me a little bit from like just like a lot of artists that like want to make it off of music. Is like
Yeah.
I am genuinely like if it's like even if it's just like a layer that like I sang like one note wrong and it's like a layer. I did choir my whole life, so like in my
Okay.
and my choir teacher was like, people thought he was a dick because he was very like particular about how he wanted it to sound, but also all the competitions that we did in choir, we were the best scoring group. And like obviously like he's a teacher, like he wants to succeed himself, so he wants his students to succeed. And I think honestly he's because I had him as a teacher from fifth grade when I graduated high school. So I think just 7 years of him really just hammering into me, like before we would even learn in like my choir class, before we would even learn the words to the song, he would have us write down. Do you know what solfege syllables are?
No.
Like the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So those are called your solfege syllables. And he would not only have you write them down, but he would make you look at the sheet music and like, what key is this in? What tempo is it? What like teaching 5th and 6th graders this, like keep in mind, like, and obviously some people didn't get it, so they didn't do music anymore. But like for the people who understood it, like that dives a little bit deeper into music theory than choir, which music theory is just a whole nother beast in itself. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the first thing about
I was
music
gonna
theory.
say like so like in music theory, there's like I mean, it's literally just the theory of music. Like that's it. Just think about that. It's like physics. It's like the physics of music. So like,
Okay.
you're like, say there's like like this note matches with this note because this. It's like math. It's almost like math because this and this resonate together well. This is the note. This is a fifth. This is a major fifth, or like this is like.
Okay.
Like you know what I mean? Like it's
I
almost
get you.
like an equation kind of, which like I never understood that very well. That's never been my specialty. I just know that I've always had a very good voice and I've been able to use my voice to hit notes on a piano range of very high to very low. My low notes could definitely use some work. But regardless, so he would have us learn these solfege syllables and then sing it like that before we would even learn the words to the song. So we would have to have already imprinted how the song goes vocally. I still have I still have them memorized from 6th grade. That's how much we would do them. Like I still have them memorized.
That thing's like embedded.
Yeah, like genuinely like PTSD type. Dude. That's not PTSD because it's like a good song, but like, and he would have us sing like 7-minute Latin pieces. Keep this in mind. Like not even in English. Like
what the fuck is your teacher on,
dude? That's what I'm saying. Like he was on some real shit. Like he was like, I'm gonna make these kids the best that they can be. Like even if they don't like choir, they're gonna at least like even my best friend in the entire world, Max, took that class and was like, man, like he will not get off our ass, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like what the fuck is this? Like never done choir in his life. Talked to him the other day and he was like, man, I remember we did that 7-minute piece back in our senior year, and he's like, that shit was kind of crazy, man. He's like, we were singing Latin for 7 minutes. I was like, I know. But yeah, that's kind of where the perfectionist kind of side of my work ethic kind of plays into it, just because I want everything to sound as crisp as possible. I don't want anybody, like obviously like a casual listener will listen to my music and be like, oh, this sounds really good. But like, I want the people who are really keyed in on music to be like, oh my God, like he used this kind of run in a harmony in his 5th layer in his song. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's just this one part that really like that could be the part that makes somebody really like the song type.
Yeah, I
get
you. I get you. Like a real music head, like when you dive in and you hear it. And
exactly.
Like listen, I like music. I have no room to talk with rating it. Like, I mean, like when I do my Are They Mids, which I haven't done in a while, I would just rate artists. And I kind of do it for like a comedy thing. I try to like just make it funny. But like people would genuinely be like, dude, you don't understand. Like, you don't understand the music. And I'm like, bro, it's music, dude. Everybody takes it in like their own different way, bro. So like if I just don't fuck with like Big Sean, like I just don't fuck with his music, bro. I've never met this guy personally.
Yeah,
you know,
that's actually so funny that you brought up Big Sean, because I just had that same conversation last night with my best, again, Max, and then my other friend Aiden. We play video games to like stay in touch. Like we play like Fortnite still, just to like fuck around.
No way, you play Fortnite, bro?
Dude? I'm actually filthy at Fortnite.
Do you play no build or like?
I play builds. Like I'm sweaty,
man,
bro. Like I'm the type that has my keyboard cocked sideways, and I'm.
Oh, you have a PC?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this guy knows, bro.
Yeah, no.
I just got put on the PC wave. I got one, bro, and it's like.
I was gonna say, I was looking over here. I see the dual monitors.
Oh yeah, dude.
And I saw the big absolute hoss. You and me have the same USB interface with the 4 on it too. So you're getting there.
Yeah, the hog, dude.
The hog. I have a 240 hertz monitor. Like that's the type of shit that I'm on.
Christ,
yeah, I play on minimum settings. I want every single frame that I'm sweaty, bro. I guess I am a perfectionist now that I think about it.
Yeah, bro. Like I have a 240 hertz monitor.
Yeah, I actually got it for a steal though. I got it for $150 because my roommate was buying like a 360 hertz monitor because he was making bread at the time. So he bought like a curved 360 hertz and he was like, I just don't need 2 monitors anymore. He's like, I'll give you this one for like mad cheap. So I bought it, and like now I have 104. I have mine stacked on top of each other though. So I have the 240.
Oh, you have like the bracket in the wall?
Yeah. Well, it's not on the wall. It's like it sits on my desk. I wish it was on the wall, but because then I could clear up my desk for more like studio shit. Because like I have a very small desk. It's probably like probably like this wide. So I keep both of my big ass 7-inch studio monitors like up here, and they're really fucking big. So like I have to like I actually have to like cock my keyboard sideways, and I have like a wireless mouse that's like the lightest mouse.
No, nice. Fuck yeah.
I have way too much money invested in that setup for how much I use it.
Hey man, bro, it's a money pit, dude.
For sure.
I mean, it I love it.
It's like every time you think you're done with it, there's something else. Because like now that I have my whole shit done, I'm like, all right, I got a fucking solid recording mic. I got 2 monitors. I got studio monitors now too, like the speakers. So like I got those 2. I got like I got the keyboard. I got the mouse. And then by the time that I have all that done, I already had the PC built. Now guess what? The PC's like getting outdated. So now I need a new graphics card, a new motherboard, a new CPU. So it's like, guess what? You know, that's another fucking $1,200 that you're gonna have to drop just to stay up. Yeah, play viably, which is like, I don't play video games as much as I used to, so it's not like the biggest deal in the world for me. If anything, I would at least upgrade my CPU so I could so my music processes faster, like when I'm like bouncing it and shit, which is like exporting it. So that would be like really the only thing that I need it for. But say the music works out and I have a couple extra bands to spend, you know,
a couple extra bands just laying around, dude.
You know, just a toss around. Maybe
the eggs are like $8.
10, 20, 30. No, I'd buy the car first for sure.
Oh fuck, dude. Get the car, dude. Hell yeah.
Hellcat Charger SRT.
You're gonna get the Hellcat when you get the Demon. That thing's a beast.
You like the
bro.
Challengers or the Chargers better?
I like honestly, bro. I like the Challengers better, just because like for me, when I look at a Charger, it just looks kind of boxy. And
See,
it's
that's
like
what I like.
And the thing for me, it's like with the money you're spending, like if I were to get a car like that, like what's the point? Like I'd rather get something that's like 2-door and it's all like muscle or all like just fucking engine.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I want something big and has like 4 seat, I'd get like a truck.
Yeah.
You know, like just something like that. I wouldn't really get a Hellcat, but like, dude, I know I'd get a fucking Demon if I had the money.
For sure.
Just floor it, dude, and do a fucking wheelie.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Those are so fun. People who do that shit in four-wheel cars, and they're doing a wheelie in that shit, like straight, like the front of their car lifts up when they're taking, like they put all the torque into the back. That shit is crazy to me, bro. Like you got 4 wheels, you have the front of your car fully lifted up off of the. I saw when I was maybe like 13 years old, where I'm from in North Carolina. I saw this. It was a Saturn Sky. Do you know what a Saturn Sky is?
Yeah.
It's like.
I haven't heard the
very
Saturn
small,
ever.
very small coupe. If you don't know and you're listening and you don't know what Saturn Sky, it's a very small coupe with a drop top. Kind of looks like a Mazda Miata a little bit. It's like Saturn's version of Miata. I saw him take off. Yeah, I don't know what was under the hood of his car because it was not a Saturn Sky engine. But he takes off, goes to merge onto the interstate, full whips it right. His car pulls up on 2 wheels on its side. Like on its side, and he curves it into the interstate.
Sounds like something out of Fast and the Furious.
What? No, it actually looked like something that Dominic Toretto would do, like straight out of the movie.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, what the fuck did I just like? Even as an adult now, like 10 years later, I'm still like that. Still lives rent free in my head. Like he actually with 2 wheels, like on the road. Like in a Saturn Sky, just like on the road in Asheville, North Carolina, like Swananoa to be more specific. Even we call it Swana Nowhere. So like, what were you even doing out there with that car?
Oh my God. They're coming out with the 10th Fast and the Furious. Are you gonna see it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you really?
I am for sure. I am actually a huge Fast and Furious head.
Wow.
I watched them all the way through for my first time when I was a junior in high school, and I think I've probably watched them like 8 or 9 times, like all the way through, like the series. I love that series. Like, especially, well, okay, up through the 7th movie, I'll say, because like I get how you would say that they start getting cornier. I would absolutely understand it, and like, yeah, for sure. And I'm like looking at the commercial, but like at this point, like I have to, you know what I mean? Like after Paul Walker dies, like. It just obviously it's just not going to hit the same because Paul Walker is just a pivotal part of that series. I mean, he's literally the first person you see in the first movie. So like, you know, after that's gone, it's like you kind of lose a little bit of the magic. But you gotta watch it.
It's like Star Wars, dude.
Yes.
Like literally, because like I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
I've never seen a Star Wars movie.
Well, let me tell you, bro. The last 3, you don't need to see them. And. But like, bro, like I grew up watching those, and like right now I'm playing the new Jedi Survivor game that's out, dude. That thing's it's like fucking crack, dude. It's so good. But anyway, yeah, like I've watched all 6 of them like the same way. Like I've religiously, like when I was like little, like I would like think that's it. And then they came out with these next 3, and I'm like, okay, I saw the 7th one. I'm like,
the ones with Adam Driver in them.
Yeah.
Or whatever. What's his name in the movie?
Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Adam Driver, bro. Great actor. Just throwing that out there. Phenomenal. But the 7th one is like okay. Like I'll give it that. It's like decent. Like it wasn't horrible. And then after that, it just goes downhill.
Like the 8th and the 9th one, or just
like I'd rather like lick like dirt than watch that movie, bro. Like it's not good.
My Strange Addiction.
Yeah. You remember that show?
Dude, yes.
Oh, dude, we were talking about that, bro. Like 2 podcast episodes, I think, ago or something like that. I brought it up, and there was like an addiction this one girl had, dude. She'd eat sheetrock.
Dude, I was just about to mention that one. That's like the one that lives rent-free in my head. Like this lady would just eat sheetrock, bro. Like, what?
Bro, that's insane.
Dude, that's actually crazy.
You just have a hole in your wall and you just eat it?
I actually have a massive hole in my wall from like the hurricane, like when it came and hit, like water like seeped into my house, and there's just like a massive hole in my wall, and it just hasn't gotten fixed because like the landlord has just been since September, bro, maybe like October. And it's like what, April, May now? Just
hang a picture up.
May now, yeah, like 7 months. I've had just a gaping hole right next to my bed, like.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like it's not even like a living room wall. Like it's like like my bed is butted up against the wall, so when I sleep, my knees like press into the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can imagine.
I'm assuming that it being wet and my knee pressing into the wall started molding it, and then it just broke one day. Like I just came back into my room, or like I was like feeling it, and then I was like, oh, there's like a hole here, and then I woke up the next morning, it was just like a blown out cow pussy.
What? A blown out cow pussy.
I stole that one from
Don't say the other guys.
no, from Zach Fox, actually. I don't know if you know who Zach Fox is.
Zach Fox.
He's a comedian. I guess I don't really know what
man.
he does. He's like, he went on. There's this guy named Kenny Beats, and he brings people onto his show. He makes beats, obviously, but
I know Kenny Beats.
Yeah, so he brings people onto a show. He has this show called Don't Overthink Shit, and pretty much he brings people into the studio and they freestyle over a beat that he crafts from scratch in the studio.
Okay.
And pretty much this guy. Have you ever heard the song that's like, I'm gonna dip my balls in some Thousand Island dressing because I got depression. Like the I got
No, I've
depression
never
song.
heard that,
No,
bro.
okay. Well, it blew up for like a little bit back in like 2018, but pretty much Kenny Beats is like a serious he's like a serious
Yeah,
guy.
he's
And
a
pretty much
producer,
this
yeah.
guy Zach Fox. They were like, oh, it'd be hilarious if like you had Zach on the show, and like his friends were like, all right, whatever. So like they did like a fake show. And like he made like this hilarious ass song which blew up and like took off on like Spotify. And they were like doing the Genius interview, and he's like, man, I know. He's like, he says something about his old Reeboks, but he's like, man, everybody got a pair of old Reeboks that just look like blown out cow pussy, man. And I think it's the funniest shit
God.
ever, bro. Like whenever
I'm wearing Reeboks right now.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
No, but those aren't the blown out cow pussy
No,
type. Those
they're
are
not
still,
the blown out cow
those
pussy.
are still pretty fresh with
They-
the Hilfiger sauce.
That reminded me of the movie from the other guys.
Yeah,
and
with
they
Will
found
Ferrell.
and they found this car. You remember that scene?
Uh-uh.
All right, dude. Because like I haven't seen the other guys. Like,
been a
well,
minute.
I've seen it, but like the first time I ever saw it was when my friends from Georgia came here, and he was like, "Dude, we have to see this. Like, you've never seen it."
Uh-huh.
So I was watching it, and there's a scene where like these people take Will Ferrell's car,
Okay.
and they like drive away, and then the cops find it because they're cops,
Uh-huh.
and well, they're detectives in the movie.
Right, yeah,
Mark
I remember
Wahlberg
that
and
part.
yeah.
I don't remember like specifics, but I remember the movie.
Well, I remember they found it, and they're like, "Oh, like thank God you found the car. Like, is anything wrong with it?" And they're like, "Honestly, man, I wouldn't get in that car for a while. We found some homeless people in it having an orgy, and then like he's like, we found a blown out deer vagina in the back. We found some raccoon, and then a raccoon gave birth on the back seat. We found its placenta blown out. I was just like, dude, what the fuck am I watching?" I'll tell you right now, bro.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. What are you saying that?
Dude, Will Ferrell, I'm sorry, but Will Ferrell is like probably the funniest fucking actor out till this date.
He's right up there. There's a lot of really good like to me, Jonah Hill, classic funny guys.
Oh, dude, he's
Jonah Hill
fun.
and Seth Rogen are like
Oh,
two
yeah.
of like those like
classics.
classic. And Michael Cera too. I know they're both in Superbad, and Michael Cera's not in as much stuff, but like Arrested Development with Michael Cera, so funny. I love that awkward humor. Like nobody else does it better than him. But yes, Will Ferrell like is like still part of that SNL era of like Will Ferrell, Jim Carrey, like Adam Sandler, like the guys who are just really classic, making like funny movies. I've heard he's a dick in real life.
Who, Will Ferrell?
Yes, I've heard he's an absolute fucking dick.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't like blame it, dude.
No.
I mean, like, because probably everyone's like, "Oh my God, Will Ferrell."
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like, dude, yeah, literally, bro. I saw the SNL skit where he was pretending like the whole skit was like he's a dad at a barbecue and he's yelling at his kids, and like it gets progressively worse through like the whole. So like basically his kids are like climbing on a shed, and he's like, "Get off the fucking shed," like he's just yelling at the kids. He's like, "Stop it!" And then as the thing, he's like, he goes. Like, he's literally going through the scene, and he's just like, "If you don't get off the fucking shed, I'm gonna go over there and fucking punch the shit out of you." And then, like, at the end, I think he's like, "I will fucking murder you. Get off the shed."
Like, just, like, progressively
Yeah,
worse,
and he's like
more degrading towards
yeah, more
getting off of
degraded,
the
more
shed.
fucked up. Like, it's super funny.
Get off the fucking shed.
Get off the fucking shed, you fucking pussy. Like, it's just shit like that.
SNL is just such, like, an off-brand show, dude. Like, do you know who Bill Hader is?
Dude, is that the guy from Superbad? The cop? One of the cops?
Yes. So he's one of the cops from Superbad, and he also has that show on Netflix, Barry, and he's like in like a witness protection program, I think, or something like that.
I've heard of that show. I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it either. I watched a couple episodes with my brother, but I don't remember. But Bill Hader has this sketch on SNL, and it's one of my favorite SNL sketches, and it's like he plays like this grizzled war veteran, and he's like,
"Okay,
my name is Lieutenant Anthony Peter Coleman," and it's like everybody, it's like two other, and I'm pretty sure Seth MacFarlane, the guy who makes Family Guy, is the one doing like the puppeteering like lessons, like classes or whatever, and he's like the instructor. He's like trying to be all goofy and stuff, and like there's like two other people there who are like also like shitty with like they have like their own kind of shtick with like their puppets. But so he plays this guy like Anthony Peter Coleman, and like he brings up like his puppet, and it's like an exact replica of him, and like everybody's like having like a good time like trying to figure out like their puppet, and he's like telling like war stories through this puppet, and he's like, I remember a time back in Grenada, and he's like just talking about like this war story. He's like, I picked up the flamethrower and I just went off, like just like talking about like with like, well, like with this puppet, like everybody there is like just like dumbfounded by like this guy. And he's
I
like,
just went off.
He's like, I used my best friend as a meat shield, and then they like what about he does it like 3 different times. There's like 3 different sketches of it, but my favorite part of it is like the guy's like, why don't you try changing it up a little bit? Give him an alternate, like an alter ego. Like he's like, okay. And he like tries to use somebody else, and he's like, well, they're kind of already using that one, so like do a different one. And he's what is his name? He's like, my name is like a French guy, and he's like, my name is Jacqueline, and I like sweet perfume. Bonjour. And he's just like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. He's like, tell us more about Jacqueline. He's like, Jacqueline was my undercover name. I would infiltrate the enemy boss's camps, and I was a honeypot, a sex trap. I did what I had to do. Just like, it's like really fucking deep. And he's like, all right, get out. And then that's like where the skit ends. But it's just like, it's so funny. Like smoke a cigarette with his puppet. It's just like Bill Hader is one of those guys that just is like plays roles so well. Like when it comes to like, he's so underrated in like the comedy like community just because of the fact that he's so versatile, dude. He plays like this gay guy named Stefan, and he like, it's a whole different SNL skit, but he's just a comedy guy.
Bro, that voice you're making, bro, just sounds like fucking Batman.
It's exactly what he sounds like.
Yeah,
it's exactly what he sounds like. I swear to God.
It's like, have you ever watched Loiter Squad?
No.
Oh, dude, that's like SNL, bro, but like with Tyler the Creator and all them, dude, and like Odd Future.
Yo, it's called what? Loiter Squad?
Yeah. It's really old. It's from like 2013.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Dude, it's on It's on HBO Max.
I'm gonna get high as balls and watch that.
Yeah, that's the best way to fucking watch it, dude. Like, I'm serious.
I mean, it's Tyler the Creator.
It's pretty funny, dude. They have sketches like, all right, dude, they did this sketch where like all of them were auditioning for 12 Years a Slave.
Uh-huh.
All right. And they're like, all right, let's get some like whipping action. And they're like pretending to get like they're getting whipped, and they're like, and like they're doing all this acting, and they're like, all right, let's see, like pick cotton. And they're like picking cotton, they're doing all this stuff. And they're like, you're not buying it. Like, we can't put you on there. Like, do you know who Earl Sweatshirt is?
Yeah, of course.
He's doing it, and they're like, all right, let's see you pick some cotton. And he's picking cotton, and he's like, has the biggest smile on his face, and he's just like doing it, and he's like so happy. And they're like, bro, you're in Georgia. It's hot as hell outside. There's nothing happy about this situation.
You're not making any money.
And then the one guy's like, bro, I got it good, because like I'm not out there picking cotton. I'm like in the house, like doing dishes. And he's like, no, like that's not the scene that you were picked for. Like, this is what you're doing. And at the end, they have like this white guy do it, and they're like, we found him. We got him, guys.
Dude, that is so funny, dude. Tyler the Creator's whole brand is just hilarious. Like, he just built himself on comedy. I love it.
He beat cancel culture.
Oh, he did.
That's not even real, bro. Like, I'll be the one to say, dude, that shit's fucking fake.
Yeah, no. It's just how you deal with shit like that, dude. Like, it's like, it's just like, look at what's his name? Morgan Wallen. Prime example.
Who the fuck is Morgan Wallen?
Morgan Wallen is one of the biggest country artists. Like,
okay, well that makes sense. I don't listen to country.
So yeah, I listen to country because again, I'm from North Carolina, so like I come from like country roots. So like I grew up listening to like a little bit of country music, but mostly like pop and was on it, whatever. Okay. So Morgan Wallen is like this huge country artist, and like a clip came out of him like dropping the N-word.
Oh God!
And he like got canceled, but then proceeded to get on a song with Lil Durk, like one of the hardest street rappers like of like the last like 3 years. You know what I mean? Like he is like a straight up like gang rapper. Like that is Lil Durk to a T. And keep in mind what he got canceled for. Then comes back and drops a song with Lil Durk. It's like a country trap song. It's crazy. It's called Broadway Girls. If you just do yourself a favor and listen to it, because it's like, and Lil Durk actually like spazzes on it too. Like he actually like gets on there and like does his thing. It's like, wow, like Morgan Wallen's like rapping in a country voice, and it's just like, wow, he beat cancel culture. Like he did. He literally recovered. Like he was like fuck it, I'm not gonna let that get me down. Gets a cosign with like the one of the hardest rap artists out.
I don't know if it's cancel culture, but like it's kind of like what Tyga did. Like Tyga like blew up in like 2010, right, with like Rack City and all that shit.
For sure.
And then like he was solid for a couple years, and then he just like faded and went away.
Yeah.
I don't know what he did.
He still kind of like sticks around, but
then he popped up again out of nowhere.
He was like an interesting case because his music was like super popular up until like 2017 probably, or like 18 maybe. And he kind of had a follow up, but he still stayed like relevant and like
yeah, because he launched an OnlyFans.
Yeah, there was that too. But he like stayed relevant in like pop culture, but like his music didn't really translate into like now, like today's like times. Like look at Future. Like if you look at Future's been dropping albums since like 2010, and like they've been consistently as good as they've been.
If anything, they're getting
better. Yeah,
they're
exactly.
Getting
like
better.
He's still progressing as an artist, which is fucking nuts. But yeah, like prime example. Like some people's music does carry through like it's like generational music, but he just didn't have like that generational factor. He was a very like 2010s rapper.
Vibe,
yeah, which is cool. Like he was a icon for like that type of like that vibe for like that time. Like,
that vibe.
Yeah, not everybody has to be like a generational artist. You know, you could be like a 2, 3, 4 year artist, and like, you know, maybe have like a follow. Like Roddy Ricch, prime example for me. I love Roddy Ricch. I'm a huge Roddy Ricch stan. I don't know if you ever listen to any of his music. Like
I've dabbled.
But like I know his discography like forwards and backwards. But like Feed the Streets 1, Feed the Streets 2 were like his first 2 albums. Feed the Streets 1 isn't on streaming services anymore, at least not on Spotify, because it like doesn't fit his vibe anymore or something. But at least Feed the Streets 2, like he started like with like some real trap shit, like some like singing trap shit, like Out of the Hood. Second album, similar type deal, and then he kind of got like the fame. And I honestly think it, like, for whatever reason, I feel like it wasn't as hard anymore. Like he started doing softer. He started experimenting a little bit more with his music, like his voice vocally, which is dope. Cause like I rock with it. I think it's cool. But a lot of people who listen to mainstream music aren't gonna say like, "Oh, Roddy's still on top." You know what I mean? So like, there's cases like that where like you'll Lil Tecca, another prime example. You'll cater to your fan base very well. Like you cater your fan base and you get like a really, really, really solid fan base. Lil Sky is another example of that. They have people who ride for them, but it doesn't mean they're like the biggest name in the entire world.
No, they're not.
Type of deal.
You said Lil Tecca, and I thought of the Aiden Ross stream when he was like on stream, and Aiden Ross is like, "Guys, if we get to like 100,000 subs, I'll fuck Tecca." Like just
Tecca probably looked over at him like,
bro, he was like, dude, like starstruck. He was just like
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Did he actually just say that live, like on his stream?
Yeah.
And the answer was yes.
Yeah. He said
Did they get to 100K subs?
He said it on live.
Did they get to 100K
I don't know. I
hope so.
I wasn't rocking with Aiden Ross and Twitch and all that like when it came out, bro. Like I just couldn't.
I've never been big on like those like Kai, Aiden Ross.
Kai said that's funny.
Yeah, they're hilarious. Like I like watching their clips, but I've never been the type of dude to just like jump on and watch them like stream and like do that.
I can't do that either because it's long, bro. They stream for like 3 or 4 hours, man.
Yeah.
You know, like it's long as fuck.
Yeah.
And like I just can't see. It's like I'll watch your clips on TikTok
for sure.
You know, like that's pretty much it. Like I thought it was funny when he brought in like this girl, right? Girl. Okay. Because it's part of the. All right. So he brings in this girl and he's like, "Yo, I'm setting my boy up with a blind date," and like he's like hitting it off and he's like, "Yo, like bro, like you're so pretty and like you're so beautiful and everything," and that dude like Kai is like. Trying his hardest to like not laugh, bro. Like he's like falling apart. Like you see it in the background. Like he's just falling. And then she's like, "I have a confession to make." And then like I forget who. I think his name's Duke. And he's like, the guy that was put on the blind date was named Duke. I think because that's like one of Kai's like best friends or something. And then he looks over at Kai and goes, "Bro, is she gonna say what I think she's gonna say?" And then he's like, "Are you a dude?" And then she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh my God," and like runs away. He's like, "Bro," or like they did the lie detector test. They had a legit guy come in on a lie detector, like a dude that can run a polygraph, and they hooked themselves up to it. And they hooked up to one of their good friends, and he's like, "Have you ever watched gay porn?" And he's like, "No."
Ding.
And then he's like, "Oh." He's like,
You're lying. Fuck.
It's pretty funny because like now they're thinking out of the box. There's a lot of people that stream. It's like, you know, they play video games and stuff, which like I mean, cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, you know, be creative because everybody streams like
video
games.
games.
On
Yeah,
Twitch.
for sure.
It's all right. I'm gonna sum up Twitch right now. If you're not like a big like person.
Oh, I'm a pretty big Twitch guy.
Yeah.
Like I used to stream video games too.
Me
so
too. I don't do it anymore.
No.
You know, it's like
so saturated.
Everything's saturated. Just pick a fucking thing.
Yep.
So it's like you either A, stream your video games, B, you stream like other people's content on YouTube.
Yep.
Or C, you're a chick in a hot tub.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
And now there's another, I forget what it's called, but there's like a new Twitch that like everybody's moving to. I think it's called Kick. Kick is what it's called, which is actually hilarious.
But
it's KICK.
Like 2012.
Yeah, that's what I asked my manager because she was telling me about it and she was like showing me like the girls in the hot tubs and she was like, look, she's like, people are just like in like it's just girls in hot tubs and she's like, look how many like viewers they have. They got like thousands of viewers getting like tips out the ass, like literally like, and I'm sitting there like, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. I had no clue that there was just this whole niche market for horny old men, you know?
Dude, it's if you're like Emma Magnolia, bro, and you're in a hot tub, bro, like dude, you're set.
You're set.
You're
dude.
set.
You're literally set. Like you have all the right assets and you just you know,
you have all the right assets.
You know, it's just like you get assets and you use them.
Hey man, business mindset. You use what you got. You know.
I was a business major, so you know.
Where'd you go to college? You said you went to college.
I went to FGCU, but I dropped out. So
nice.
I took all of
Do you feel like Kanye?
Yeah, pretty much. College dropout.
I have to ask everyone that. That's since they dropped out of college.
No, for sure. Yeah, I'm actually not even like the biggest Kanye head. I like a lot of his music, but I've never like deep dived into like Kanye's music.
I did, bro. That was the first Are They Mid I ever posted on my YouTube channel, and I just deep dived completely into Kanye, and I said, "Fuck it." This was before the anti-Semitic remarks. But like even then, bro, like I mean, like we get it. He watched 21 Jump Street. He regave himself. Like it's all under the bridge.
Yeah,
now,
it's like he got it, man. He reformed himself.
We got it.
Yeah, for sure.
Reformed Christian.
Born again. But yeah, so I went to college over there. I was like an entrepreneurship major, but I took every single one of my major classes and I just like, I was not about to take all of my gen eds, like all the gen eds and stuff. I was like, I'm not about to pay an extra $20,000 for somebody to tell me that I can have a piece of paper that lets me own my own business. Cause I could really just spend $150 on an LLC and call it a day. Cause I have all the knowledge just locked up here. But instead of doing an LLC and starting a business, I made a music business. So I'm marketing myself as my business. So nice. Like it's actually pretty similar. It's actually very, very, very similar. The Venn diagram between being a business owner and making music. The only difference is when you're making music, you're marketing yourself as your brand as opposed to marketing a logo or an icon or you know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah, like you are the brand.
Like you are the brand.
Like for example, like with the podcast, like I would be the brand.
Yeah, like you are the brand. Like people are drawn to you. Like they're not drawn to like the logo or the product. Well, you are the product essentially. So they're drawn to both the brand and the product. So as opposed to like I like this brand and I like their product, or maybe I like the product but I don't like the brand. Same shit.
Yeah.
So it's actually quite similar when it comes to like running all of that, which I think it was very interesting and very actually helpful that I did take those classes because I have had a musical background, and when I started like getting serious about making it, it was really cool because when I'm watching videos on like marketing and business and this, that, and the other, I kind of already knew a lot of it, but now it's just a little bit more of like a niche way to do it with music.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do we even watch the thing you wanted to watch on this Dojo?
Dude, no, I just started talking about it. I mean, there's other stuff we can look at too.
No, you're good. Is that Cole Bennett?
Yeah, Cole Bennett makes an official draft pick for the Chicago
Oh, that's
Bears.
right. He did make a pick for the Bears. I saw him up there, and I was like, holy shit, it's Cole fucking Bennett. I forgot I didn't know he was from Chicago, too. I'm a huge Juice WRLD head. Like, I'm a huge Juice WRLD head.
Yeah, he announced that at the Good Music Fest. You announced that out. And then the same thing, you're like, yeah, and I fuck with Dirk and everything.
Yeah,
everyone from Chicago.
I love Chicago music. Like, Chicago drill is like, pretty much everything about Chicago music just like hits home for me. Even when I was like younger, like, I used to listen to a lot. Well, Eminem's from Detroit, but I mean, Kanye's from Chicago. And like when I was growing up, I listened to like the basic Kanye. Again, I've never done like a deep dive, but I always liked his basic stuff. Like 808s and Heartbreaks. Beautiful.
That's great.
That's a really good one. And then like Juice WRLD's from there, Lil Durk's from there, Polo G is from there. Lucky is like a really underground artist who's also from Chicago, makes really good music. I know I'm missing I know Chance the Rapper is from Chicago. I know I'm missing a really big one, but
Keef.
like, Chief Keef is also from Chicago. Yeah, like exactly. Like Chicago music just hits home, and it's very diverse. Oh, G Herbo, another one. I'm not the biggest G Herbo fan, but
G Herbo is actually really fucking good. But
he is really good.
It's like J. Cole. You have to be in a Cole feeling to listen to
for sure.
You know,
Yeah, I agree.
Herbo feeling.
And he has some of his flows like fit really well with songs. I like when he does more melodic stuff, like when he's more like or like more structured stuff, because sometimes he'll like come on and I obviously like it's not my music, so like I'm not gonna sit here and judge, but I'm just like speaking off of like my head, like what I generally like in music. Like sometimes he just kind of tries to fit words in a little bit too much, and it doesn't really carry with the beat as much, in my opinion. But I could see how people would like that, because like you ever listen to Detroit rap at all, like Babytron? You know who Babytron is?
I've heard of that. I've never listened to it.
So he kind of does a play on that too, but he like does funny bars. Like he's hilarious. Like with his bars, he's like,
can we get a bar?
He's like, if I ever fall off, it's off the trampoline. Like, you know what I mean? Just like stupid stuff. He's like, or like, I'm trying to think of like a really good one.
Fell off, it'd be on the trampoline.
He's like SKS kicking back like a soccer practice, talking about like his gun, but it's kicking back like a soccer practice, or like, sliding in the Bumblebee, the ops gonna need an EpiPen. Like, and then proceeds in the next to start it off like pull up in a transformer, like pull up like a transformer. So he does Bumblebee, EpiPen, transformer. So like very clever with his wordplay with how he kind of fits it in there.
Man, that's pretty solid.
It is pretty solid. So he's kind of like coming up on that too, because people are starting to understand. Oh shit, this is kind of funny, or like, oh, this is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
kind of hits. Talk about Cole Bennett. What is this? Teaches how to eat ass.
I already know how to do that, bro.
Charlemagne, bro.
He's like, open that shit up and get in there. Look at her. She getting her elbows
Is that DJ
involved.
Academics?
I think it is Academics on the
bro.
left. Yeah, in the fucking whatever that color.
What is this? How do you eat ass like that?
I'm not eating ass.
You don't eat ass?
No, I eat ass for sure, but not like that.
Apparently that's a trend that like I haven't hopped on yet.
What, eating ass?
Yeah.
It's different, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like I just can't.
Like
see,
that's where poop comes out of, bro.
For sure, but like it's just like it's different, bro. Like with my girl, like it was like that's like the first time I ever like experienced eating ass, and it's like just like
out your girl, bro. Just out your girl.
Whatever, bro. Like it's like obviously I eat ass, bro. Like if I'm in a relationship, like I'm eating ass, like you know, like it's gonna happen. But like, yeah, just out her real quick. But yeah, so it's like. Like, the first time I was just, like, hammered out of my mind. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
I'm going to eat ass.
And then after that, I just never stopped.
Damn, it's like a crack addiction.
Yeah, it pretty much is. It's like, wow. If you but here's the thing. I would see why you don't like it. Like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't, I'm one of those try everything once type of guys. Unless it's my ass, in which case, stay out of there.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, bro. That's so, ugh. That's gross.
Stay out of there.
I can't think of that. Oh, here we go. NLE Choppa wishes he could pay every girl's rent in the world. That's an outrageous claim, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how he made he dropped the music video for the remix of that song "Slut Me Out" that's like trending on TikTok.
Yeah,
and it's on OnlyFans, and literally all he's doing in the music video is just fucking girls. What a fucking,
are you for real?
That's a baller play.
That's crazy.
I thought that was a major baller play.
That's kind of a play on, I forget what song it is by Ski Mask the Slump God, but there's one of his music videos is literally just him rapping in front of his friend like fucking another girl.
Oh, that's nice.
I forget what
that's
song.
Like
I forget what song it is, but it was crazy, bro. I was
that's like a cuck moment.
Yeah, it is a huge cuck moment, like major cuck.
It's like
moment.
A sneako moment.
But like kind of, if anything, like they're kind of cucking him, you know, like he's over there recording a music video, and like this other guy's just like fucking his girl. You know what I mean? Like,
it was his girl.
Well, like whatever the guy.
I mean, if it wasn't really his girl, then like it's not.
Yeah, then it's like different.
Whatever.
Like it's just like he's
chick.
like recording in like front of people having sex.
Yeah,
which is like whatever.
I mean, if you can get over that, like fuck it.
I guess I'm pretty sure it's like his most streamed.
It's like the dude
video
on the Pillow Talk podcast. I think his name's like Mike, the main guy that does it, and he was interviewing like, you know, Kazumi, Cheryl D, fucking whoever from Pornhub and like all this shit, and they literally just had a sex tape in the studio, and he didn't like do anything. He just sat there and watched.
That's weird.
I know. I was just like, wow.
Well, there's also that one guy.
He was just like this the whole time.
Just like blank faced.
Yeah, just.
It's not No Jumper. What's the other? There's one podcast, and there's that porn star Lena the Plug.
Plug Talk.
Plug Talk. Yes.
That's Adam Jumper's or Adam 22 wife.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and she had like they do like a porn.
Yeah, they interview like all
podcast.
the porn stars, all the OnlyFans models.
Right,
stuff
and then they
that.
like record.
Yeah. Well, no, they don't record like sex tapes. I mean, like, well, the thing is with, I don't know. I don't know their life, but I know like I think they're retired.
Uh-huh.
But like they go to like the AVN Awards and do like the interviews and stuff like that. Which I mean, bro, if you're cool with it, like, hey, like, go for it.
Like do your thing.
Like, there's no shame in it. You know, it's obviously everybody has their own opinion on it.
For sure.
But like, with me, it's like. I feel like as just like me, like how I was raised, I just can't get behind that.
No.
Like I can't.
But I'm not gonna sit here and like
say like it's wrong.
Degrade you. Yeah. Like
I'm
you know.
not degrading you.
I
mean,
understand.
Like, get your bread if that's what you want.
Right. My body, my choice type deal. You know, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that to some extent. You know what I mean? Like obviously I'm a guy, so it's different. And like girls have a completely different. I mean, even guys, my body, my choice, but it's just less of like we have more. I guess fluidity with what we can do.
Wow, most woke conversation.
What, dude? Holy shit! Maybe they were right about my nose ring. Maybe I am woke, dude. Maybe I'm fucking woke, dude. Holy shit!
I'm woke.
I'm about to become a campus preacher. Fire and brimstone.
Hell yeah!
You're going to hell. You're going to hell. You're going to hell. Look under your chair. Everybody's going to hell unless you wake the fuck up. You know, type shit.
Oh man, it's going to hell.
Yeah, well, my dream.
To go to hell.
No.
And on that note, we're gonna end because we're at the end of the podcast. Can you believe that?
Yeah, has it been an hour already?
It's been an hour.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Damn, that was a good ass conversation.
I know it flies by when you're having fun.
For sure, I had a great time.
So where can they find you, Yo Joe Do a Flip?
So you can find me on Instagram at Yo Joe Do a Flip. That's just J-O, no E in it. So it's YOJODO a flip. And then you can find me on Spotify and Apple Music at JO_Flip. Joe Flip, that's the name. Yo Joe Do a Flip. Again, can't do one. Bringing it all back. The world revolves.
We're going to make you do one.
Ah!
Make sure you guys check out my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys check out the Salami Talk podcast at Salami Loop. Make sure you check out my Are They Mids. Haven't uploaded one in a while. Probably not going to upload one for another really long time. Taking the podcast more seriously. Let's get to 100 subs so I can open this Patreon up.
Yep.
And give you guys more content. And leave a review, like, share, subscribe. And as always, we're going to end the podcast the same way. You're going to look in that camera, say one word or phrase, and that's going to end the podcast.
Where is the camera? Oh, dude, you know what's
right
crazy
there.
is I didn't know there was a camera here.
Oh, yeah, no, we've been recording this whole time, bro.
I thought about it. I was like, audio podcast. I was like, oh, shit. So what am I going to tell the camera? Sorry.
Anything you want. One word or phrase.
Oh, man. Does it got to be like the first thing that comes to my head or like?
Take your time, bro. There's no rush.
Man, what am I going to say? I feel like it has to be a bar, right? Like it definitely has to be.
I mean, if that's what you want it to be, bro.
See, it's like times like this where like my brain just goes into like full fight or flight mode. It's like, holy
it
shit,
just shuts off.
Just come up with something. Just come up with something. Just mic check, everybody. Something that's on my mind right now, something that's really crazy on my mind is I have a new song, Gravity, coming out very soon, taking it to the studio. That's what I'm going to tell you guys. That's my word or phrase. Gravity. Gravity. It pulls to you. It might push you away. Polarity. Gravity.